So it has come to my attention that even after the first video that I made on this subject, full of facts and proof and the like, that there are still some non-believers that exist in this theory of mine. What was the theory? If you hadn't seen the first video, the theory was quite simple. This character right here, this guy, his name is Odie, the dog from Garfield, and he stinks. Where's the color tool? Oh. So he reeks. You know, he smells, and pretty much I don't know why anybody in that household can stand him. It's a very simple concept. I'll write it here. Odie stinks. Now, in the first video, I did provide a lot of proof, but we're going to look at the actual comics themselves. Because within these comics, you'll find a lot of times that whenever Odie appears, he's doing something that alludes to the fact that he stinks. So, we're gonna take a look right here. Now, as it's known, you usually end up stinking from running around outside, playing in the dirt, the mud, and Odie is no stranger to that. Let's look at this this first image here that I've got. That's not what I meant to do. This image, we'll pull this up. So, as you can see in this this comic right here, Garfield is Garfield's in a little bit of a pool, a kiddie pool. So, being the character that he is, he does not want to let Odie in this pool. So, Odie gets a little bit angry, clear by this little thing right here, and he walks away, clear by this motion. And then you can see no pool, so he's walked a little bit of a distance away. Then we go back to Garfield, and what's this? Some movement noises and a little bit of a line. Oh, he's jumping over. A clever arc. But he missed. He's in the ground, tongue sticking straight out. Now, being in the ground right here, well, full of dirt, bugs, roots of plants. That's going to make him stink when he emerges, for sure. So, there's that proof right there in that comic. Now, on to the next one. Let's see. So, you might ask, how is he going to get himself out of that? Well, it's very simple. Let's just copy this. So, in this comic right here, you got Garfield right here, giving a nice stare at Odie with that bone of an animal, looks like. Who knows? Probably could be the bone of a cow, maybe. considering that beef is a common thing in households. But that wouldn't make him stink, because obviously it would get cooked. Or maybe a chicken bone. Who knows? But anyway, he then proceeds to dig up the earth, getting dirt all over himself. Let me get the right color. Getting dirt all over himself, and clearly putting dirt out here. So much, in fact, that we get this big pile over here. By now, he has to reek. Like, he's got to stink now because of how much dirt he's picked up. And he's going to put that bone in there. And then that means that he's going to bury it, because that's what he usually does, which means he's going to have to put all of that dirt back in the hole, which is going to make him stink worse. Now, you may think, well, that's not a deep hole. It couldn't be that bad. Well, Odie, this is just one of his shallow holes. If we go to this comic right here, we can clearly see that in the first panel, just stretch this more. So, Odie has dug a hole, this hole right here. And Garfield has told us that Odie is the culprit who did this. So this is a really good one. Now, I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt his digging skills. Would I doubt that he stinks? No. He very well probably does stink. And, Garfield has on the smaller end of noses, so he doesn't have to bear it too much. But, over in third panel, we see that John is stuck, pointed out by Garfield. John is stuck in this hole. Very deep down, of course, farther than his head, unless he's crouching down, but considering that he needs help, it's got to be a really deep hole. Now, digging that much dirt, I don't know where he disposed of it. Maybe like off the side of the panel over there. Like maybe there's just a lot of dirt over here that we can't see. But that's besides the point. He's dug this much dirt, which means he has gotten deep into the ground, past the worms, to the really disgusting stuff, making him stink a lot. Now, he's done that, he's buried that bone, but after putting the dirt back, you probably don't think he would touch it again, if you think he doesn't stink. But you would be wrong if you believed that. Oh, I keep doing that. You'd be wrong. Very wrong if you believed that. Because we go over here to this nice little comic. And we see a nice, right here. Dig, 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 dig. Odie is digging. You can see the black particles coming off of it. So he's clearly digging. Now when you get to second panel, oh my gosh, look at him. He looks so repulsive, so disgusting. He's just dug through the ground a few feet to get that bone, which he has in his mouth now. Just to point that out, in his mouth, meaning his mouth is going to be really disgusting too. Like you can see the surprise on Garfield's face. Like This is the face of a cat that has seen. He's seen how this dog has done this horrendous act, making himself so disgusting. And in the last panel, he even states this. He says, even I've never been that hungry. Never been hungry enough to just completely destroy any respect for how you smell. Just, you can see the dirt trail too. Like he's having none of it. And he's a smart cat. Now that we've established that his mouth is very dirty, there's something that could be, well, okay. Actually, maybe that might not convince you that his mouth is dirty. So we'll take a look at this. So the first two panels don't really mean that much, but the third panel is what we should look at. Now, obviously, if you've ever heard of anybody who's tasted dog food before, it's horrible. It's absolutely bad, is what they'd say. I've never tried it, but I'm gonna trust them. Now look at this. Look at this abomination over here. He's just getting it everywhere. All over in his mouth. All over here, over here, over here. He's getting it everywhere. He's such a schmuck. He's just, it's horrendous. It's horrendous. You can even, like the words here, chomp, slurp, gulp, narf. Wait. Narf? Okay. That's my new title now. Narf. Never heard that one before. So yeah, his mouth, disgusting. Horrible, smells like trash and dirt and dog food. Now that we've established that his mouth is like that, we'll look at this comic. So, another typical Garfield and Odie comic. Garfield gives Odie a command telling him to fetch himself. You can see in second panel he's got that dirty, horrendous mouth ready, on the ready. And then when we get to the third panel, oh, what is this? What is this? Oh my gosh. Let's get a closer look. He has eaten himself. He's put most of his body, all four of his legs, probably any genitalia too, in his mouth. All that's left, well, not all of his legs, just two of his legs. His own ass, that's in there too. Excuse my profanity. I'm just trying to make a statement here, but it's all in there, making it all disgusting. So disgusting. So I've got one final comic, and this is the be-all end-all. If none of those convinced you that he stinks, this will. I promise you. So let's read this comic out here because it's got plenty of words. Let's see. Dear Ask-A-Dog, what's with you dogs rooting through the garbage all the time? There's a bunch of barks. That's Odie's response. And he's basically saying right here, based on Garfield's response, he's saying that he doesn't go through the garbage. But Garfield makes it clear, this wise cat right here makes it clear that Odie has been going through the garbage. You can tell. You can tell because of this banana peel. Only, like, people don't eat banana peels. And pets don't eat banana peels unless you got a weird pet. So they're usually thrown in the garbage. You can see it in all 3 slides, the banana peel. Though it has 4 here, but only 3 here and here, which is kind of weird. But yeah. So obviously he's been in the garbage. He's been rooting around in it, as pointed out by Garfield. So he must, honestly, he must just stink so much, because that's what garbage does. It stinks. Makes whatever goes in it stink. So that's all the comics I have to show. That's pretty much all of them. I would like to hear response, because anybody who denies it now is your chance to tell me what you think is the reason why he doesn't stink. Because I've shown right here that he clearly does a lot of actions that would make him stink, and most likely does in fact stink. But that's gonna be it for this. Thank you for listening, and please do consider this.